Hi everyone, welcome back to the astrology and the cards for your sign for the month of April 2026. I'm going to briefly talk about what to expect in the month of April with the astrology, what signs are benefiting, what signs may feel certain things as challenging, the full moon and the new moon, and all the usual details that I give you guys. And then the cards for your sign will be timestamps below, so I'll do obviously for the air signs, the water signs, fire signs and earth signs. All the info for that will be under the video. Just before I start, if you'd like to book a personal reading, the link is also below. Go to my website, www.readingswithsusan.net. There's Astro Coaching that you can have with me. There's all different types of readings, from psychic readings to mediumship, and of course astrology related readings. So from natal chart analysis, video readings, to other types of relationships, synastry, composite charts, there's a lot there, so have a look. If you'd like to join me on Patreon as well, on Patreon what I do there is I provide extra content, so I do up to 4 extra videos per month, so that's nowhere near as much as what I upload on YouTube obviously, and it's just giving you guys extra content and extra pick card readings. And every single month I do the full moon, the new moon, and if there's eclipses I'll talk about that, and I do it for all signs. And thank you to those people that have joined me on there recently and the ones that have been with me for the whole time. I really appreciate every single one of you. I love Patreon, so come check it out. All right, let's get into this video. So for April, what have we got going on? It's an interesting month. I feel like it's a lot better overall than March. March has been pretty crazy. That said, we are still in some crazy times. Obviously there's a lot going on in the world, and as souls, I truly believe in a lot of people that are switched on to these deeper levels of understanding of things know this information, that before we come to this earth we choose a lot of the roles that we're going to play, or the relationships, where we're going to be born, the parents that we have, and the things that we're going to see and experience. And people that are more aware, we're here to hold the light for humanity in our own little individual corner of the world. And sometimes we see things going on and it feels really extremely heavy, disturbing, dark and painful, seeing suffering in the world and the things that are going on with war and stuff like that. And I don't really want to go into that kind of thing. Obviously my channel is not a political channel, of course, but it's more around the perspective of we've chosen to come here to shift the consciousness of humanity through our awareness and holding the light. So there's light workers all over the world holding the light for humanity and doing their bit in their corner of the world. So yeah, what was I going to say with that? It's just remembering that the drama that unfolds on the earth plane, it's separate to, in a way, but also connected to our soul, our true soul essence. It's it's kind of separate from that, but it's also very connected to that. It's a little bit complicated, but we're all here for a reason, experiencing this at this time for a reason, is my point. So with that said, hopefully all the I'm seeing a lot, and a lot of people are aware that a lot more of the truth of what's been going on behind the veil, so to speak, has been coming out more and more, and people are becoming more and more aware of how much stuff has kind of been hidden from the public and things like that. So there's a lot of that coming out on multiple levels and multiple different layers. So we are in interesting times, and the consciousness is definitely shifting. And the good thing, one thing that's happening in April, by the way, is at the end of the month, Uranus finally leaves Taurus. It's been there since 2018. And Uranus is in fall in Taurus. And I was talking to someone that I know about this, and the reality is, when we had World War II, Uranus was also in Taurus for the beginning of that, when that started. And the world was very topsy-turvy then, and there was a lot of craziness going on. And we've had this since 2018. It's actually finishing on the 27th of April. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that, all wars are going to end or anything of that nature, but it is definitely a good sign of things shifting in a better direction. And this time around, unlike World War II, this time around, Uranus that goes into Gemini will actually trine with Pluto. So I think that's helpful. And then you've got Saturn sextiling Pluto in the sky. So those are helpful, harmonious aspects that I think are going to help like I've been saying, shift the consciousness even more of the collective, of humanity, of the awakening of what's important in life, what's truly important to people on a heart-centered level. But on that note of the 27th of April, I wanted to jump ahead to that. I know that's the end of the month, but this is just one of the most important things happening this month, is that this is going to be very, very positive for you if you've got Taurus in your chart, anything in Taurus, especially later degrees to Taurus. But any Taurians are going to feel this as a positive sense of relief from what? From like the chaos that's been going on, the unreliability of others, the shifts that have just been chaotic, the constant dramas that have just been popping up out of nowhere. And not only Taurus, but Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio are going to really benefit from Uranus leaving Taurus, okay? Then it goes into Gemini, and early degree Geminis will have their experience of, you know, Uranus shaking things up in their life, but it's not going to be as heavy as it's been for those fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. It's not going to be as heavy for Gemini because Uranus is not in fall in Gemini, and Uranus likes to be in Gemini. It's a harmonious kind of energy for it. So, you know, that's good news. And yeah, so you can breathe a sigh of relief if you're a fixed sign, those signs that I mentioned, from April 27th. I'm really looking forward to that date, since my whole chart is basically fixed. My whole chart is Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, pretty much. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. All right, so let's talk about other things now. So I'm going to start from the beginning of the month, of course. So this one started the 31st of March, but it's active from the 1st of April, and it's Venus going into Venus in Taurus, basically. So this is, Venus likes to be in Taurus. It's in its home sign there, very comfortable there. This is going to be blessing the earth signs with abundance, with, you know, good vibes, good energy, feeling content, more content than you've been, especially for Taurus, but also for Capricorn and Virgo. This is nice. And also just in general, because Venus is in its home sign, like I said, in Taurus, so this favors things like enjoying the simple things in life. Taurus is very much about enjoying the simple things. Taurus doesn't need a lot. It just needs to feel that it has the essentials and it can enjoy those things. It's, you know, it's enjoying a cup of coffee in the morning, a nice breakfast, good company, a relaxing couch, a nice cozy bed, you know, kind of similar to Cancerian energy, but a bit different. Very in touch with the physical senses and this sense of appreciation. You know, Taurus is really good at appreciating things, what they have, and quite content in the moment with it. They're not kind of thinking ahead, jumping ahead, oh, but I need to get the next thing and I need to get the next thing that's better, you know. It's kind of like more of a slowed down, slow enjoyment of things, let's just say. And very much in touch with the sensual. So a lot of people may feel, especially if you've got, like I said, earth in your chart or even water, you could start to tap into this more so, which is nice. It's a nice energy. On the 1st of April, there's a full moon in Libra. I will go more into details about this full moon in Libra on my Patreon, so I recommend if you're interested in delving deeper and deep diving into the full moons and new moons every month, like I said, join me on Patreon. The link is below. It's called a pink moon because it symbolizes the rebirth energy of the season changing, and it does make a sort of a wide opposition with Saturn, so there could be a little bit of interesting dynamics going on if you've got things in Libra, Aries, Capricorn, or Cancer in your chart. You could find this full moon maybe is a little bit challenging in your relationships, but the other signs may not feel it as much. It is also getting a square from Jupiter in Cancer, so that can sort of somewhat soften the intensity, I would say. But what's going to be in highlight or in focus is relationships with a full moon in Libra, okay? So that's on the 1st of April. People could be experiencing some heavy tensions in their relationships, endings and new beginnings as well in relationships. Obviously not for everybody, but for example, if you've got a Libra moon in the 8th house or Pluto in Libra in a very key house, and this 12 degree of Libra full moon falls on something important in a significant house for you, it is going to be possibly quite intense in your relationship. So be aware of that. Moving on, 10th of April, Mars moves into Aries. So this is good. Again, we have 2 planets in their home signs this month. I feel that's quite powerful. So Venus and Mars, which is the feminine, masculine, you know, you could say divine counterpart energy, yin and yang, and, you know, active and receptive energy. Mars and Venus are both in their home signs. Mars is at home in Aries and Venus is at home in Taurus. So that's a really interesting energy that's happening this month. On the 10th, like I said, Mars is in Aries, so if you've got fire in your chart, this is going to give you a boost of energy. It's going to amp you up a little bit. It could be a bit of excitement in the air, could be some positive changes happening, or it could be like a very action-orientated time for you. If you do have Mars in Aries, say for example, it's going to be your Mars return from the 10th of April for the next few weeks or so. So this is like a new beginning for you in some area of your life, depending what house it falls into for you. 12th to the 14th, we have Venus in Taurus, sextiling Jupiter in Cancer. So anyone that has 15 to 17 degrees of earth or water could feel this as beneficial, especially if you've got Taurus or Cancerian energy between 15 to 17 degrees. That's from the 12th to the 14th of April. So it's, you know, it's not an overwhelming energy. It's more of a gentle energy, but it could be something very supportive in your life, or something harmonious, something beautiful, you know, an appreciation, a moment of gratitude. Someone helps you with something, or someone supports you with something, or you receive some kind of abundance. It's a nice bit of energy there for a couple of days. Then we have a new moon at 27 degrees of Aries, more Aries energy. Interesting. So, and at this time with this new moon in Aries, and Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so that already symbolizes new beginnings energy. And then you have a new moon, which is also new beginnings, very strong, potent energy for the seeds of manifestation, a new path opening up. It depends again where it falls in your chart and what it contacts in your chart. But at the time that this new moon in Aries is happening, it's basically at the same time that we have all planets direct. So, and that's, I don't know if I said that's on the 17th of April. So this is a key time, especially for fire signs, and I mean for everybody though. I would look at, if you know your chart where you have 27 degrees of Aries, to see what part of your life this is a new beginning in. Alright, so last couple of things. 25th, Venus does enter Gemini. So Venus will be in Taurus, like I said at the beginning, from the 1st of April all the way to the 25th. So a few weeks, of course, which is how long Venus is usually in a sign. Then on the 25th, it moves into Gemini. And this is really great for the air sign. So if you're an air sign, this is going to be feeling really good for you. Very social, positive, upbeat energy, supportive connection socially, friendship-wise, and relationship-wise. And it can be a time where you feel like you're able to explore new things socially, or relationships, or just in communication with others, or creatively. And like I said, the 27th is when Uranus exits Taurus and goes into Gemini. I already spoke about that. If you're an early Gemini, expect some big changes in your life, like 0-1 degree of Gemini. 28th to the 29th of April is just a couple of days. Venus in Gemini trines with Pluto in Aquarius at around 5 degrees. So if anyone's got 5 degrees of especially Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, this could be quite good for you. It could be something key around relationships or finances. All right, so that is a rundown for the astrology. If you have any questions that, you know, if you want clarity on anything, feel free to post below. I check the comments now and then. If anyone has questions, I can answer you guys. So for April, we're doing the cards now. So I'm going to start actually with the air signs, then the earth signs, water, and fire. Sorry, fire signs, put you last, but you know what? You can jump to the timestamp, so you don't have to wait. All right, you can watch for your rising sun or moon. Now, this tarot deck I'm using, I haven't used it in a while. It's called the Vice Versa Tarot, and I'm using a couple of other oracle decks. So let's see what's coming in for the air signs. So we're looking at Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Some potent energies for you guys, with Uranus going into Gemini on the 28th of April. Powerful stuff. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's the energy of April? Just going to move this back a bit so I've got a bit more space. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, jumping cards. Okay, a few cards here. So we have it's the Vice Versa Tarot, so I'm looking at them the way they've come out. This is the Three of Wands. So this is about making plans for your future, Gemini. So you're either already started making plans with, you know, like possibly even in March, but coming into April, this is still in effect for you. And you have the Seven of Pentacles, so it could be about work situations, it could be about finances, what you're going to do with practical financial stuff, what you're going to do with your work, with a work situation, new jobs, things like that could be in the picture. Seven of Swords. Okay, so you may be also, there's a little bit of secrecy around the Seven of Swords, holding back information from somebody that's key in your life. You know, maybe there's a reason for it. You know, maybe you have to keep things under wraps for some reason because of negative energy around you, or low vibrational people, or people that are naysayers and telling you they don't like, you know, the choices that you're making. But this is showing that you have the courage to make changes in your life with the Three of Wands, and you're going to start to go forward with these plans soon. And you're doing things step by step here, step by step. There might be a bit of overwhelm to this, and this figure looking over their shoulder kind of makes me feel like you're watching your back for some reason. Air signs, so that's interesting. All right, let's have a look what else for air signs. I'm going to use the Ocean Oracle. I've got this one here as well. I want to use this. I used this on Instagram today, and I was like, you know what, that's a really interesting deck. Let's use that. For air signs, what's the Ocean Oracle message? Oh, you have Strength. So, wow, this is telling you that, similar to what I was saying, regardless of what's going on, you have the strength to make the changes you want to make now. You may I'm getting the sense you may have had to wait for the dust to settle on something, or a situation to calm down, or yourself to get out of feeling overwhelmed so that you could start to take action. And it feels like this month, especially with Mars going to Aries, that's for Gemini, and for Aquarius, that's a sextile aspect, so that's very harmonious. For Libra, it's an opposition, so it's a bit different for Libra. Oh, you've got the Kangaroo. Be a force for good. Archangel Roquiel, Jerusissa, and Sandalphon. Okay, so this is saying don't get tempted by other people's negative energy around you to sink to their level, okay? Keep your energy focused on what it is that your vision is for yourself. Don't let other people's negativity drag you into some dark, weird vibes. You don't need it in your life. You're protected as long as you keep yourself in a positive frame of mind. And that doesn't mean you have to be perfect and not have a negative thought, okay? It's just saying that keep pulling yourself back in, keep reining yourself back in if you're finding yourself getting really snarky, really negative, or cynical, or resentful. This is saying being a force for good is very important to your soul's journey in this lifetime. You know, and again, it doesn't mean that you don't have a moment where you know, feel a bit of a negative emotion, but as long as you don't start to embody that on a daily level, you know, we're all human, we all have moments like that. It's just, you don't want it to become your character, you know, so just be careful of cynicism or bitterness and work on healing that part of yourself. And the reason that healing is important is because it integrates us and makes us more whole. And if we're fragmented, we can't know ourselves properly. We can't focus, you know, on what we need to do and get done that's important. Oh, look at that. Stay in integrity. Air signs, you guys are getting bit of a hard word put on you. And look, this might not be for all air signs, so, you know, don't you know, if you're an air sign and you feel like, well, I am in integrity, that doesn't relate to me, you know. But here's the thing that I'm getting. Sometimes where we can be in situations where other people push our buttons so much that we say to ourselves, wow, that was out of character for me. I don't usually act like that, even when I am under pressure. This is a bit of a warning about that, okay, I feel. And again, it's not for every air sign. It might be just for a few watching, okay? So it says moon shining, stay in integrity. And this one was saying be a force for good. All right, so, you know, do your prayers, connect to the divine, ask for help from the angels, look after your health and diet, get fresh air, get grounded, air signs. Because, you know, when you've got a lot of air in your chart, if say you're someone that doesn't have much earth in your chart, it's really easy to get carried away with your thoughts. And your thoughts can really like start getting negative and just spiraling, and that's never a good thing, because then we can feel very self-justified in that negative energy. So okay, I feel like that's enough said. I really got the message there, I feel, for you guys. Strong message there. Stay in integrity, be a force for good, and focus on the courage that it's requiring of you to step forward in your life to create some new work situation, new stability, and stay away from negative people. All right. So, earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what you guys have for April. Earth signs for April. What have we got? Something's jumping out here. Oh, it's the Chariot. Huh. Okay. Now this is the vice versa tarot. So it's facing away. Oh, we have the Sun. Okay, let's get one more for the earth signs. That's the 9 of Wands. Okay. Just going to read that first before I do the other cards. So the Chariot facing away. So this one, will, if it was coming towards you, it will look like that. This is facing away. So with the Sun, some earth signs, I want to say you could have had somebody that you were very close with, or like was a good friend, or, you know, or even a love connection leave your life. But it's sort of allowed you to, well, that's happening this month for some. It's sort of allowing you to, or allowed you to refresh your creative energy and focus on yourself in a good way. Because it's like you may feel that that person was very important to you, but you're still happy on your own. You're still happy in your own energy. You're not heartbroken here. That's good. So then we have the 9 of Wands, which shows that there is this energy of perseverance here and continuing to persevere with something that's important to you. It could even be related to something from that past situation, if it could be hinting for some people, someone coming back from the past, because there is this happiness here, and it's saying like persevering and not giving up or trying again sort of thing. Let's see what else we have with the other oracle cards for the earth signs. For other earth signs, I want to say there's a different energy I'm getting. You did try with the situation, whether it's a family member or, you know, a friend or love connection. You did try and try and try, but you just couldn't make it work with that situation. Change your tune. Moonlight Serenade. Okay, so this is saying, like, interesting, it might be a bit similar to, with this card, to the air signs, that maybe you're feeling a little bit negative about towards a particular person, this person that has left your life. And, you know, maybe it was the way things shifted, or something that they said, you know, might have really hurt you. But it's saying something about not focusing on that, like letting it go, because it could make you feel a little bit cynical or have a bad attitude in some way, whether it's towards them or just in general. It could be a bit of a sour feeling that you have. Eagle seize opportunities courageously. That's nice. So yeah, that's saying you're rising above these lower energies, this sort of dull energy that's come with that situation. See how it's quite muted, the colors here, and they're very sort of bit depressing, melancholy. This is saying, look, there's so many opportunities coming into your life for earth signs this month. Focus on the blessings coming in. There's a lot of blessings for you. And also look at the big picture from a distance. The eagle flying high is like looking over things and seeing things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, maybe from a spiritual perspective. Like, okay, well, you know, I had to learn something from that person. What did I learn? You know, that kind of thing. All right, let's have a look at the ocean oracle for the earth signs. Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn for April. Luminosity, oyster, that's nice. 24, which is 6. 6 is to do with health, work and routine. Oyster, interesting, it's an aphrodisiac, and Venus is in Taurus this month. I like that for the earth signs, because this is a good month for the earth signs, especially Taurus, with Venus in Taurus, Venus in your sign. You're going to be getting your mojo back here, Taurus. I like it. And also, you know, the other earth signs will feel it too, because you get the trine from Taurus. So Virgo and Capricorn will feel this harmonious energy as well. So it's saying, yeah, keep your sights on higher things and focus on the things that bring you joy and happiness and perspective. And also bring in a little bit of indulgence, like not over the top, but like a little bit of self-love, self-care energy, enjoying, like I said, appreciating the simple things in that Venus in Taurus kind of way this month. Super nice, I think. That's really good. Really lovely cards overall for the earth signs. Okay, let's move on to the water signs, of course. So we're looking at Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio for the month of April. What have we got for the water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. These two did not want to go, or three didn't want to go back in. I tried to put them back in, they wouldn't go in. That's always a sign. Okay, so we have water signs. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, a bit of anxiety going on there, and the Knight of Wands. Look at that Knight of Wands. Ooh, potent energy there. Alrighty, so this is talking about, look, for some of you there may be some kind of shift in some kind of situation that's been causing you, could be work for some, feeling this anxiety here. Sorry, this is anxiety, I'm pointing to the wrong one, but maybe this is this Six of Pentacles is causing you some stress at work, I'm feeling. It could be because maybe there's a feeling of a lack of cooperation, or people are saying different things, you know, maybe I'm hearing, I don't know who this is for, but I'm hearing tension in the team. There might be tension in the team at work, whoever you work with this one, and the Nine of Swords, which is the anxious anxiety card. So don't let it get to you. You will overcome these stresses and tensions. For some of you, this is someone that's there to sort of help lift the vibes or lift the energy. It could be a supportive person in your life, or someone even that you work with. I do get mostly work with this for the water signs, that there's maybe some stress at work. But you do have someone on your side here. If this is not someone at work for you, because there's different people watching, this is a collective reading, this could be someone in your personal life that's, you know, someone that's like a confidant, a friend, a supportive person, something like that. Okay. All right, let's have a look at the other cards for the water signs. What else have we got? We have the Parrot. I'm going to get you the Ocean Oracle as well. Water signs for April. Homecoming, the conch shell. That's cool. All right, Parrot. Oh, this one's flipping over. What have we got here? Higher Power, Moon Goddess. Oh, I love that. So, okay, with the Higher Power card, it's saying that there's some kind of divine order to the stuff going on. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be completely passive about it, but it's reminding you that something that's going on in your life right now is meant to be happening. It's part of some kind of bigger shift for you. So trust in the process. Parrot says, listen intently to understand. It seems like here everyone's trying to talk over each other. That's the vibe I get. So again, it could be squabbling energy from people in your life, or people that have a different opinion to you, or that are sort of chiming in and saying that they don't like something that you're doing, you know, whether it's work for some or even personal life for others. And Homecoming's nice. This has got a very soft energy to it for me, with number 33, which is a master number. 33 also is about communication, paying attention to signs from your guides, and this is about listening to spirit and trusting your gut feeling, your instinct. And your home life is going to be like a source of a lot of peace for you this month, I'm getting, for the water signs. Which, I mean, for water signs, that always, especially Cancerians, home is like your sanctuary. Trust the process. The full moon's here, so there may be something coming up on that full moon on the 1st of April for some of you, I would say, especially Cancer, since it squares to your sign. You could be feeling emotional, and home and people that really know you, people closest to you, maybe who you live with for some, or even your pets, or, you know, someone that you live with or a family member is going to be more a source of comfort, and maybe someone that you can talk to about certain stresses that you're going through. It feels like work I keep getting, but for some others it could be some social stuff that's going on that's a bit stressful for you. All right, lastly, we're going to look at the fire signs for April. See what the fire signs have. So this is Aries, Leo, and Sag. Oh, my camera's going to cut out. I need to start another video. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sag for the month of April. Fire signs, April. Waiting for something to jump out here. Oh, yeah, we've got that. Okay, so we have two of, is it the Two of Cups? Yes, it is. What a nice card. Oh, well, we have the star, but she's facing the back, so that's what the card looks like from the front. And actually, star. Oh, hang on a second. I think that's actually the Empress card. It's the Empress and the Two of Cups. Okay, let's get one more card. Oh, jumping cards everywhere. The Hermit and the Ten of Cups. Wow. So the fire signs, you've got good energy in relationships, but also the Hermit says you're doing self-reflection. You've got the 10 of Cups. That's an amazing card. A lot of harmony in your relationships, fire signs, this month. Some fire signs could meet somebody new. That's a genuine soulmate connection. This is really strong energy here because of all the repeating. 2 of Cups, soulmate. 10 of Cups, a happy relationship. Empress is love. The Hermit is Virgo energy, which is about maybe you've done a certain level of work of self-reflection and you're ready to sort of start to look at meeting people, or maybe you just spontaneously meet someone when you're out on your own. This, again, it may not be for everybody. Take what makes sense to you. But if you've had, say if you're in a relationship already and it's been a bit difficult, this is talking about harmony restored. You've got grey squirrel, find new ways of solving problems. This is to do with, if you're, some of you, if you're in a relationship, for example, this message is about finding a new way to communicate or finding a new way to handle problems. Maybe, you know, handling problems in a blunt sort of offhand kind of way is not working, and you need to have a sense of humor and just be a bit more lighthearted. Or it can be, if you're single, trying to meet somebody or meet people in a new way that you haven't tried before. That's what I'm getting for that. Very focused on relationships for the fire signs. Let's see what else. This one tried to pop out. Okay, so the water signs also have this higher power. So there's some kind of higher destiny around you, around love and relationships for the fire signs this month. So whatever's going on in your relationship life, whether you're in a relationship or not, there's a destiny here around the people, the key people in your life, or a key person in your life. So whatever happens in April, it's meant to be around love and relationships. Let's get one more card for the fire signs. All right, we have small irritations, sea lice. Oh my god, what a funny card. 38. That's an 11. So yeah, that's interesting because this talks about problem solving. So for some people, when it comes to relationships, and I want to say this is more Aries energy, and the reason I say that is because Mars is going into Aries this month. Okay, so that can really amp up Aries and make them feel very stressed, on edge, reactive, charged up. It can be a good thing. It can make you feel like you want to just charge ahead and make decisions. But with that, it can be very much like, all right, everybody, get out of my way. I'm doing what I want to do, with Mars in Aries, in terms of if you're an Aries fire in the fire sign group here. So watch out for overreacting to small irritations, fire signs. That's a big message for you, because you do have a lot of support around you. You do have love in your life, or love coming in, or meeting new people that you feel a very deep bond with, or meeting a new person that you feel a deep bond with. And if you're already in a relationship, it's saying that don't let small irritations, you know, overwhelm you or get you into a negative reactive space, because it's going to be quite negative if you let that happen, I feel. All right, guys, so that was the reading for the month ahead. If, like I said, if you'd like to book a reading with me, the links are all below, or if you'd like to join me on Patreon, check it out. Links are below. Have a great month, everyone. Take care. Bye.